But does she truly have the experience that a top level coach like Hani and Aceto have from decades of coaching these people at a high level? And this is what she's put her husband in, pushing him down to 280 pounds. It's her eyes that he's counting on to say, you've gone too far. This is too far. And then not to figure out how much time we need to carb up. And they just went to their regular carb up Thursday before the show and thinking that was going to get the same result. That's those little details adds up, and you cost your husband the Mr. I'm not saying she did, but they both did. But I mean, this is 4th place that they Mr. Olympia. You're supposed to be Samson Dauda getting back-to-back wins, and you could have got one this year, and you didn't because of these big mistakes. It's not little mistakes. These are huge mistakes that were made. Yeah, it's gonna be a battle this Sunday, guys. It's gonna be a huge show for Samson to prove himself, not prove himself, but kind of redeem himself mentally. He was saying that, just in his mind. Actually, let me go to that. We'll end off with Samson, some words from Samson, and kind of his thought process. It's still there. There it is in his stories. Let me just cue this up for you guys real quick, then we'll wrap it up. Hour 12, not too bad. Go back here. Yeah, right here. One second.
About the had, and I know the result would have been absolutely something else. So I don't want to end this whole saga or this chapter not seeing what that package would look like if we had filled that properly and had enough time to do that and get on stage. So I'm like, look, I want to do a show so I can see that for myself and say, okay, right, this prep wasn't just a cock up. It was just that last bit of it that just didn't go too well. So I want to try to sort of see, okay, so I can stand back and say for myself, okay, so that's what it could have looked like. That's what we could have been. Okay, taking that forward into next year, I know what we did and I know how we can repeat what was good about the prep and then fix what was bad or what didn't go right about it. So that's one reason I really want to do this show this weekend, is just to basically give me closure, man. I need that closure. I need to know that, okay, I didn't burn and kick my ass and starve myself for months for nothing. I want to know that, okay, there was a result for that. You learned something that you could put and see for that. So I need that closure. I just need it. I need it. So that's why we're going to jump into the stage this week, and we're going to see what we can do about it. But even with that said, man, it's been a hell of a week. I mean, to be able to raise your weight back up that fast in 5 days and still hold on to your conditioning at the same time is something that's just not done. It doesn't. If I ask anybody who's competed and so try to tell them, how do you put on 15 to 20 pounds in days and not lose your conditioning and not look like a water balloon at the same time? It's extremely hard. We literally had to let me rebound, but then catch the back end of it so it doesn't go too far every single day.
You feel like halfway through the process.
I was halfway through the process now, but this lady right there, she's been a genius with it, man. Right from when we got back home and I said I was going to do this show, she was like, okay, we got to get you back up. And the goal was basically by Sunday, yesterday, she wanted me to be 300 pounds and in the same condition I was. And it's been, it's literally every detail, every single day, we've been weighing ourselves, going through everything over and over, with every meal, nitpicking everything to just give me that fullness back without spilling me over, posing, do everything else, just watching every piece of detail we can.
Every rep starts with fuel. Helix cream of rice, clean carbs, zero sugar, fast digesting energy that hits quick, fuels hard, and never sits heavy. 27 grams of pure carb power, nothing but rice and real flavor. Proudly made in Canada, built for champions. Grab yours now with code MUSCLEDISCORD. Helix Foods, fuel the work, own the stage.
Just to get that back, and it's been stressful. It's been a lot of work. He's been thriving, man, because you're trying to stop that rebounding process from happening, especially me that I grow very quickly. Once you introduce carbs back into my system, I'm ballooning up. There's no stopping that, especially when I've been so depleted for so long. Trying to just get the balloon, get the rebound happening, but then don't let it go too far that I lose, I start looking watery, I start losing that condition. It's difficult, you know. So yeah, man. So this is what has kind of been the challenge this past week or the past 5 days. But we're in a good place now. But we're still halfway through it. The process is still not done yet. Even now, we want to be 300 pounds, but we don't want to shoot too far over it either. So we're trying to sort of keep that as a safe weight. So the whole of this week will be about trying to balance that and going into the show this weekend. But you know what?
Okay. So after hearing that, I don't know if that's the first time you've heard him speak today about that. Okay. So your assessment, if you were kind of coaching him and his thought process of thinking, well, I'm putting on 20 pounds and this is what I really should have looked like at the Olympia. You guys are going to see that now. And I'm like, no, man, you didn't, that's not 15 pounds of muscle. You lost 15 pounds of muscle, brother. And people are saying, well, he's delusional talking like this. And I kind of agree. He's not delusional. He's maybe just caught up in thinking that, this is what he was going to look like, but they missed the peak. It's a peaking issue. It's not a peaking issue when you lose 15 pounds of muscle, brother. So I don't know. Like, is he not taking it? I'm not saying he's not taking it serious, but is he not thinking this through properly? It'd be like, you're putting on water weight and carbohydrate and glycogen in the muscles, bro. That's not muscle. What's your thoughts on that?
It's the thought I have, man, is I gotta be a realist. I gotta put myself in his shoes. Number one, he's hurting. I mean, he's hurting. He made a decision which a lot of us was sometimes, they say God speak in mysterious ways, man. I don't know where his faith is at all, but when 6 weeks out, everybody was saying, okay, he looks really good. I will start slowing it down now. Like, there's key things that were being said. As a bodybuilder, he wasn't listening. He believed the more he pushed, the better he was going to look. Sometimes that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. The issue with Samson for the Olympia was the fact that he tried to carb up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
When you're that depleted and that peeled and that dry, you have to carb up starting on Sunday. You have to. If they would have did that, just small, introduce the carbs very small, and then start gradually raising. Now, once you get to Wednesday, now you're going to be at a good number. You know what I mean? But trying to do it Wednesday without blowing out his stomach, feeding him too much carbs, it becomes an issue, him being that lean. And I'm learning from myself because I have carbing up issues. And one thing me and Blue did was we just start carbing up on Sunday because every time I compete, the judges are like, you're flat. Then when I come in to the finals, that's what you should have brought to prejudging. Yeah. So I had to start carbing up way early, and that's what we did for the Masters. We start carbing up on Sunday, right? Now, for what he's about to enter, the show he's going to enter in now, I fully respect his idea of what he's trying to do. He's mad, and it's like, I know I can do better. But we got to make sure we don't force ourselves into something too soon that possibly won't go in our favor. Now, do I believe he can pull it out? Yes. How he's going to look on stage that can make this decision, man, it's tough. I just don't see it in the front part of his legs. The back is looking great. His side chest and the side is looking great. But the front, staying in front, I don't know if he's positioning his feet a different way. But you're right. You can't put on that much muscle that fast. Actually, it's not healthy, just to be honest. It's not healthy on the heart to pack on that much weight in a short period of time. My thing is, if you're going to do it, don't worry about getting to 300 pounds. Worry about staying as lean as possible, as tight as possible, and coming as full as possible. That would be my logic. Don't worry about the weight. Worry about that on the off season. Try to bring in the best Samson you could possibly bring in, but full, bursting full with that thick chest and then big shoulders, and bring the old Samson, somewhat of the old Samson, on that stage, and you can't lose.
Now, Marlena's been with Samson since day one.
Day one.
You telling me she doesn't know his body to stop this from happening, to not get him into this position where he looked like he did at the Olympia and cost him $600,000. You don't this is why Dennis James and we're like, well, Marlena, and Paul Dillette were like, I don't know if that's the best match. And she isn't a Mr. Olympia-esque winning coach like Hani Rambod, 24 Mr. Olympia titles, and Aceto, 15 Mr. Olympia titles. She's just got one with a genetic freak, which is her husband, who she carried on a prep from Milos and others that they've learned from, and they, by chance, won the Mr. Olympia. So she gets the credit. I get it. But does she truly have the experience that a top-level coach like Hani and Aceto have from decades of coaching these people at a high level, and this is what she's put her husband in, pushing him down to 280 pounds. It's her eyes that he's counting on to say, you've gone too far, this is too far, and then not to figure out how much time we need to carb up. And they just went to their regular carb up Thursday before the show and thinking that was going to get the same result. That's those little details adds up, and you cost your husband the Mr. I'm not saying she did, but they both did. But I mean, this is fourth place at the Mr. Olympia. You're supposed to be Samson Dauda getting back-to-back wins, and you could have got one this year, and you didn't because of these big mistakes. It's not little mistakes; these are huge mistakes that were made.
Well, here's the thing. She started him in bodybuilding from day one. She's the reason why we are seeing the great Samson Dauda on stage. She takes the full credit, right? It is hard because we can't say, I've known you can have the best coach in the world and tell yourself, this is the way I want to be. I want to go on completely peeled, shredded. I'm going to do freaking 6 hours of cardio every day. I'm going to freaking cut my carbs down to nothing and just focus on high proteins and bringing fats, knowing what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and believe like she was okay with it, but here's the problem. When you have a coach, he's not physically there. You're doing it behind his back.
Yeah.
She's in the house, but she is his coach. And at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to use this as an excuse, but they are married. And a bodybuilder, when he is in his funk, is going to tell you, move out of my way.
Yeah.
This is the direction I want to go. Let me get there, then you can jump in. I'm not saying that's what happened, but that part is hard. Her coaching him, I think she's doing a damn good job. I think that he needs more than just her when he's pushing the limits.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you understand, that's her. They're not going to start fighting each other over a bodybuilding prep because it can get to that, right? So she's like, okay, well, do what you think is best. I'm telling you, you're pushing it too much, and you don't want to listen. So it's
that
your
could
show,
be happening. You're right.
Right.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Good. That could be happening. The internal fighting that we don't see in a personal relationships, they could be arguing. We don't even know half of the shit that might be happening behind the scenes with them.
Now, both of them has the opportunity to understand that. Now, remember now what Samson said in this video. I'm only focusing on conditioning, something I never bought before, and I don't care if I lose size.
Yes, he did say that.
That was his word, but that concerned me when he said that word.
Yes.
Because as soon as you say that word, what did I say? Well, be ready to not win Mr. Olympia again because it's going to come down to these shorter competitors with size.
He said exactly
So now
that.
he explored both ways. Now he knows he can never do that again. All Samson had to do from last year was come in 10 to 15% tighter and leaner with the same muscle, and he would have retained his title.
Yeah.
So it's not a rocket scientist. Just fix it, get to it, and stay there, and don't play with any tricks and shit. Stick to what you know works for Samson, okay, and don't try to do anything else. And if you need to start carving them up early, that was the mistake. Carving them up on Wednesday was not enough time.
Yes. And that's just with your experience, you're like 10, 15%. And that's where I'm like, if Aceto was coaching him, would he would have said, next Samson, we just need 10%, brother. I know you really want to show people improve the conditioning thing, but let's be careful about this. We don't want to lose muscle. Just 10 to 15% sharper. That's all we need. And Samson went for 50% sharper and lost all this muscle tissue, and he didn't have the guidance. You know, when you're mentally preparing and you're the athlete and you have the coach telling you what to do. Marlena was like, yeah, all in, and we're going all in on the conditioning, and then stop him and pull him back and just let him run loose. That's where the experience of a coach comes in. And I don't know, we don't know because we're not inside their personal space, but you would have thought, to let him go that far and then just go into fourth place at the Olympia, it could have been worse. He could have got fifth. So it's a missed opportunity, but hey, like he's saying, I need to prove myself. I need to get back on the stage in Prague and go win it.
Yeah, they got an opportunity to redeem themselves. So just like I said, people jumping from coaches. Let's see if they could come together, because it's both of them. It's not just her. Them come together, understand the situation, understand the problem, and it's an easy fix. They don't need to sit and think about it too much. It's an easy fix. Just get it done. Yes.
And we're going to wrap it up right now. Do you think Samson can get back to the 305 pound solid muscle Samson, or he's older now? He's got to build all that muscle tissue back. Is he going to do the Arnold and then he kind of cuts his prep time short? Is this like one of the major setbacks of his career, is dropping all this hard-earned muscle that he put on?
He can put it back on, honestly, Matt. I don't know if it'll be enough by the Arnold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to see what his strategy is because he lets everybody in. He's going to need that old Samson, but harder, to be
Yeah.
able to battle for that title, or else Andrew Jack is going to take it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Matt Sinkering here, host of the Muscle Discord podcast. And I want to do a quick plug of my coaching business. I do online coaching as well through my exclusive fitness app, where you have guided workouts to follow, meal plans to follow, all the macros are laid out for you, the cooking instructions. You do weekly check-ins with me, upload your photos, your measurements, and I make adjustments as needed every week for you. So use promo code Muscle Discord when you sign up, and you'll save 20% off your monthly coaching fee. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.